Hey everybody, Douglas Blair Roberts here, the Super Vader 400, Mr. the Fanboy and the Brown Skin Human, come back at you with another series of pro wrestling pay-per-view show and match reviews, and this time this is my review of all Impact pay-per-views from 2020 and now 2021. This year and last year's of Impact Wrestling has had some awesome pay-per-views, and for the most part, when it comes to wrestling and entertainment, each pay-per-view is delivered. Like I said in plenty of previous videos, Impact Wrestling and pro wrestling in general in this stupid pandemic has done nothing but thrive. Thrive in comparison to other forms of entertainments and sports. So, with that being said, let's get started right now. Let's hit my music and get these reviews started. Hey everyone, it's time for my results review and rant portion of this long Under Siege 2021 review and rant review series match and show and match review. So the best match of the night was, of course, the main event, the six-way main event for a shot at Kenny Omega's Impact Wrestling Championship. It was between Moose, Chris Sabin, Matt Cardona, and Sami Callihan, the four wrestlers I wanted to win. Moose especially, and Chris Bay and Trey Miguel. Trey Miguel. In a six-way match to determine the number one contender for the Impact Championship. The guy I won, Moose. The guy I wanted to win the most, Moose won. Like I said, I wanted Moose, Saban, or Cardona, or Sammy Callahan to win. I wanted Moose to win the most because Moose, as you know, this month, Moose's contract with Impact Wrestling expires, and I really want him to win the championship. He should have won it at Sacrifice. He should have won the championship at Sacrifice when he fought Swan. So I'm happy to hear they did the right thing here, and hopefully he beats Kenny Omega to get back the Impact Wrestling Championship and stay in Impact Wrestling a little longer. So, yeah. But if Moose did win, I want Saban to get back there and have a longer, more lengthier reign. Like I said, this Saban, along with 2002 through 2006 Saban, are my all-time favorite eras of Chris Saban. Matt Cardona, he wasn't ready yet, but like I said, I'm loving his more serious, intense Matt Cardona, aka Zack Ryder, in Impact, in quote-unquote Impact Wrestling. And Trey Miguel and Chris Bay didn't care much for. They're not ready for world titles, especially Trey Miguel, who is the pure definition of vanilla midget, man. Great wrestler and athlete, but a terrible and lack thereof of a character. So, yeah. This was the best match of the night. The undercard was kind of underwhelming because it was just meant to put over this. If I had to choose, the second match of the night would be the four-way tag team match to determine the number one contender for the tag team championships. That was Ace Austin and Madman Fulton taking on P. Wood and TJP. One of the teams I wanted to win. The first two teams were the teams I wanted to win. Ace, Romero, and Larry D. And the second team I wanted to win if the first two teams didn't win, and that was Mahabali Shira, my boy Rohit Raju, Ace Austin, and Madman Fulton defeated the team to earn a number one contender spot for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. Fire and Flame, Kiera Hogan, and Tasha Steele defeated Jordan Grace and Rachel Owens to regain the Impact Tag Team Championships in a good match, but I hated the end result. Hate Fire and Flame. Great wrestlers, but I hate their characters. Josh Alexander defeated El Fantasma in a pretty good match for the Impact Wrestling Championship. Dina Purrazzo with Kimberly defeated Havoc by submission for the Impact Knockouts Championship in a pretty good but forgettable match. The most memorable part came at the end where Taylor Wilde, who they've been hyping her return at this pay-per-view, returned and beat the living daylights out of Dina Purrazzo and sent her flying from the ring and sent her a message that she's coming for the Impact Wrestling Championship. Happy Taylor Wilde is back in wrestling, one of my all-time favorite knockouts from the glory days of Impact Wrestling. And then you got Eddie Edwards in the next best match of the night. Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice, Dave Finley and Juice Robinson defeated the elite of Kenny Omega, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson, the Good Brothers, with Don Callis in a pretty good six-man tag team impact style of main event. Great match actually. It's just overshadowed by the hugely epic main event. Yeah, get ready for the match portions coming next. Hey everyone, time for my review and rant, off-camera review and rant on the first two Impact Wrestling Under Siege 2021 matches. The first is Matt Cardona and Tyrus, and the second is Tennille Dashwood team with Taylor Wilde taking on Kimberly and Susan. Both of these matches were okay, but they were the weakest matches on the card. The Tyrus and Matt Cardona was the worst of the two, and probably, in my opinion, should have been on Impact. The work rate was good, but the match was just forgettable. It was just a chore to watch. on this pay-per-view. I guess I'm happy my boy, I'm not Matt Cardona, but Brian Myers. Brian Myers made it onto this pay-per-view, but I really want him to move on from these smaller feuds to a big title feud. This is why I wish the global TV title, the TV title was still around. It's for wrestlers like who are way too big and good for the X division, but still not quite ready for the heavyweight title picture. After several big moves and some awesome work rate from Tyrus, like I said in plenty of previous videos, I hated Tyrus in AAA, but he's awesome in Impact Wrestling. Tyrus is a good wrestler, but I hated his gimmick. He doesn't look like a Mexican wrestling luchador. He looks like a cheesy WWE cartoon character. Next, after several big moves, Brian Myers had desperation from the corner roster cut clothesline for the 1, 2, 3. For the 1, 2, 3, and was chased off by Crazy Steve, who swore vengeance. Next was the Knockouts match. This was a much better match, but really nothing memorable except for 3 moves. Kimberly, the heel team, taking out Tenille with a cool martial arts kick combo. Susan rolling up Taylor Wilde, and trying to hold the ropes and thinking she's won. When the referee sees it and breaks it up, she thinks she's won, but her partner tells her, you didn't win, and then she tries to, then she argues with the referee, then tries to picks Taylor Wilde up for another move for Taylor Wilde, reverses it into a small package, inside cradle, which Kimberly reverses by coming in and turning them over, turning Kimberly over on Taylor Wilde, or turning Susan over on Taylor Wilde. Taylor Wilde action erupts and Taylor Wilde hits an awesome German suplex on Susan for the 1, 2, 3, and in the post-credit scene, in the post-match scene, in the funniest moment, Caleb and Tenille Dashwood come in the ring and try to take selfies with Taylor Wilde, and Taylor Wilde was like, no, I'm only here to team up with you. I'm only here to team up with you to get revenge and what's called my goal is the Knockouts Championship, and in the promos leading up to this, Tenille kept saying Knockouts Tag Team Championships, and Taylor Wilde responds, no. Yeah, that was this match right here. That's what went on in this match. That's what went on this match right here. The X Division matches. The X Division matches, which will be on camera, those are next. By the way, this is also the first in a new part of the series. And matches that I feel aren't really good or worth me appearing on camera, they will be reviewed just like my results review off camera. So that's what we're going to be doing from now on. So with that being said, let's get to the X Division. Let's get to the tag team, 6-way tag team match next. 3-way tag team match next.
Clothesline, wait, laying in wait. Number 1 contendership for the tag titles on the line. Number 1 contendership for the
it's time for my review of the 3-person tag team match to decide the number 1 contenders for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Champions between the first team I wanted to win, Ace Austin and Madman Fulton, the heels, followed by P. Williams and T.J. Perkins. T.J. Perkins, the next team I wanted to win. Next team I wanted to win, Ace Romero and his tag team partner, XXL, and last but not least, Mahabali Shira and Rohit Raju, the third team I wanted to win. This was an awesome match. Right after the main event, this is probably the second best match on
smartly escaped
on the card. It was way too many action to call. You know how he is with these X Division tag team matches. Non-stop action from bell to bell. It started off with Batman Fulton and Ace Romero. Then Mahabali Shira tagged himself in and tried to box with Ace Romero. Ended up getting splashed. Then T.J. Perkins came in and did a bunch of big moves. So did Pete Woods. He did all of his signature moves. One of the main reasons I was watching this match to see those two do their signature maneuvers, and Rohit Raju too. Watching to see him sell and getting beat up look fun and awesome. Yeah, love the way these three guys work. Some of the best professional wrestlers and workers of all time. After Batman Fulton hit his finisher on one of the members of XX, on I think Ace Romero, hit his side. He hit a scoop slam into Uranani on I think Ace Romero. Then Ace Austin did a springboard splash using Batman Fulton for 1, 2, 3. They become the new Impact Wrestling Tag Team. They become the new number one contenders for the Impact Wrestling Tag Team Championships. So yeah, this was the Ace Austin. This was the 3-person tag team match. The 6-man tag team match between Finn Juice and Eddie Edwards taking on Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers is coming next.
It's going to favor those heavy hitters, so someone's got to make that move. It's interesting, just saying it.
Hey everyone, it's now time for my review of the 6-man tag team match between the baby faces of Eddie Edwards and Finn Juice. David Finlay and Juice Robinson taking on the heels of Kenny Omega and the Good Brothers. Kenny Omega, Doc Gallows, and Carl Anderson, Machine Gun Carl Anderson. This was a phenomenal 6-man tag team Impact filler pay-per-view style of main event. It did drag on a little bit, but it was a good match with big moves from everyone. Everyone shined in this match. After several, I can't even remember them all. It started off with Finn Juice, Juice Robinson, and David Finlay chain wrestling with Carl Anderson and Doc Gallows. Then when Doc Gallows came in there, he of course turned it into a fight with his stiff boxing haymakers rights and left, and Juice Robinson exchanged several boxing haymakers of his own. Then Eddie Edwards came in, did his signature moves, the sidewalk slam, the Tiger Driver, several moves. Kenny Omega did his various moves. And the match finally ended when, after several big moves, Eddie Edwards hit the Boston Knee Party for the 1, 2, 3, winning the match for the babyface team. Like I said, this felt like a great Impact and filler pay-per-view main event. The main event you would usually see on a filler pay-per-view that would segue into a much larger show or pay-per-view down the road, and that's pretty much what this was right here. So yeah, this was my review of the 6-man tag team match. The main event is coming next, so get ready for that.
Everyone in. Back taken by Chris today. Bruce continues to fight everyone off. Andre the Giant-esque.
Time for my review of what I consider to be probably one of the greatest Impact and pro wrestling main events of all time. In Impact Wrestling, AEW, they've each had a lot of awesome pay-per-views and main events, but this one was awesome. This was Moose, Sami Callihan, Chris Sabin, Matt Cardona, Trey Miguel and Chris Bay battling it out in a six-way for a shot at Kenny Omega's newly won Impact Wrestling World Heavyweight Championship at the next big pay-per-view Against All Odds 2021. 2021. After each man made their awesome entrances, the bell rung and Moose immediately took out Sammy Callahan with a front martial arts kick. Then everyone went for Moose. Matt Cardona chopped Moose, but then Moose quickly knocked him out of the ring, knocked him down with a huge right. Then Seige and Chris Bay started unloading on Moose. They each took him out with two sidekicks. With two sidekicks, knocking him out the ring. Then both of them went at it with Seige during his signature hesitation, doing an Irish whip followed by his signature hesitation drop kick. Then Moose came back in the ring. Moose and Callahan came back in the ring, and Moose hit Callahan with the same hesitation drop kick and going. Moose hit his in the corner to Callahan. Then they kept fighting. Then Trey Miguel came in. Trey Miguel and Seige exchanged elbows. Then Trey Miguel and Chris Bay took out everyone with springboard somersaults over the ropes. Then you had finisher warfare where Matt Cardona hit the one-leg lariat on which wrestler he hit it on, but Moose took him out with a spear. Then Sammy Callahan took him out with his power driver. Then the Good Brothers came out and took out Callahan because Kenny Omega did not want to face Callahan. But this was worse. All this did was free Moose up for the win. Moose took out Seige with a spear for the 1, 2, 3. There were more moves and more stuff, but it's hard to recollect all. That's why this match review took so long. This match and pay-per-view took so long. I've watched this pay-per-view, this match over and over again. It's hard to recall every move without writing a script, and I don't feel like writing a script. I have my supplies and stuff you see here under the covers for several other things. But yeah, this was a phenomenal main event. So yeah, Moose, and I wanted Moose to win. I wanted either Moose, Seige, Callahan, or Matt Cardona to win. I wanted Moose to win the most because Moose's contract is up this month, and I want Moose to stay with Impact Wrestling. AEW has I would like to see Moose in AEW. They have way too many wrestlers, and he'll get lost in the shuffle. I damn sure don't want to see him in WWE. He could really be great for WWE, but WWE will bury him on that crappy NXT brand. So many wrestlers who are already ready for the main rosters are being buried and featured on that crappy NXT brand, and I do not want that for Moose. I want him to stay in Impact Wrestling where he's a top guy. I want him to win the world title. He should have beat Swan at Sacrifice for the title, but now Impact has a chance to make things right and Against All Odds against Omega. So, with that being said, this has been my review of Impact Wrestling, review and rant on Impact Wrestling Under Siege 2021. This main event was the best match, and the undercard kind of said so because the undercard was kind of lackluster. It was all to put over this match, and boy, was it awesome. So, with that being said, you don't want to hear the rest of the music. Turn the video off right now.
If he can get that arm over the leg, it's a nice dragon sleeper there. You can see, Trey was trying to reach that arm. This doesn't care what it is. No.